There are a few different applications that would be a good thing for you to download on your own device. The first of which is going to be something called Lightroom. Lightroom is going to be kind of our go-to program that's free that will allow us not only to take pictures, which in the lower right-hand corner here, we've got our camera symbol here. So not only will allow us to take pictures, but it will allow us to edit them after we've taken them. Some of the key things that I'm looking for in a program that we'll be using here in this class is something that allows us to change our exposure, our shutter speed, and our ISO. On a device like a phone, you can't change the aperture because the aperture is set to what it would normally be as an opening. But the exposure is how you can lighten or darken a picture. Now this is set to auto ISO, so it's kind of like changing the, compensating it backwards when I'm trying to make it darker or lighter. All right. The seconds, the SEC, that stands for shutter speed. Right now, it's set to kind of a mid-range shutter speed, but you can go really, really high, and that's going to really lower the quality of the picture down because our ISO is so high. Or really, really slow, you can see the quality of the picture is improved quite a lot, but it could have something like camera shake going on after we take our picture. The last thing we could change in here is something called ISO. And ISO was on auto, but it can go all the way from 25 on this device all the way up to 2000. But ISO stands for how sensitive our camera is to light and how much light it can absorb. So I do like with Lightroom how we can take pictures, but then also from there edit them at the same time. So to get to this version of the camera within Lightroom, I did have to switch it off of automatic to professional. So that's what I'm going to leave it on as professional there. You're all going to become pros through this class. So anyway, we've got that app. We also have the regular camera app, or if you've got an Android, it's going to look a little bit differently. This one, we're not going to be able to do quite as much as in Lightroom, just because we won't be able to change anything except how bright or dark the picture is based on selecting something going higher or lower with our focus. All right, so we'll be using that sometimes if we want. I've paid to have an app called Procam. Procam is a lot more advanced than Lightroom in terms of picture taking. It still allows us to do exposure, shutter speed, and ISO, but it also will kind of incorporate a few other things that would be nice to be able to do. So I've got something called, night mode is on, what it's on right now. Normal photo mode is what you'd probably be in, just in general. But there's something called slow shutter on here, which allows me to go down even slower. So I could do a 30-second exposure, for example, even just using a phone. And that could allow me to do light painting within this app. So that's one of the reasons why I'd say if you're willing to spend $5.99 to get the app, it could be a good thing. These other apps that are on the top of my screen are just other apps that allow you to do manual mode for your basically setting up your shots. These ones are all free. They're going to have ads down at the bottom, but again, you can change your shutter and your ISO. Just some different options for you to download and to try out. The Afterlight is the same kind of thing. You can take pictures. Again, down on the very bottom here, you can change shutter. That's what this one is. You can change ISO. And that's what that one's all about. Now, in terms of editing, we'll use Lightroom. We're also going to probably use something called Photoshop Express and Photoshop Mix. Now, these also are free apps that you can use, and highly suggest that you download them just to get ready for what we'll be doing in this class. All right, thanks for watching this video, and now it's time to get out your own device and download the apps that I've mentioned here. You'll also see them written out on Schoology with links to them that will hopefully open up your App Store or Google Play Store to download them.